Yo, what is good? My anniversary. What is good, yo? So, I honestly have been enjoying myself quite a bit when it comes down to the Dragon Quest and just seeing where this character overall is going to wind up. But knowing that every single step of the way is going to be some kind of trial and error, and that they might get a second chance is it's kind of lame in itself. Like that guy should have probably just uh ended them and it would have been over. But thanks to plot, he winds up being the actual person who saves them. Like that's how some stories really be turning out, man. Not only did he get a message from his father that doesn't even like really reach him, um, he then gets to fight against Dai in a situation where Dai don't even recognize anybody. And the one thing I really didn't like about this situation of him not recognizing anybody, because he wasn't reacting to anything his teammates were saying, um, especially especially when the first part he's like, he'll die if you go out there. It's almost as if he had some type of like way to tune that out, but he could hear all of a sudden Pope say the lightning, right? Like, I think because the lightning was such a fresh thing, and it does go with what he said in the case of like magic and swords, right? So it's not too far off to be like, okay, well, the one and only things he really was hearing or talking about was magic and the sword. So maybe those were the only things at the moment that could reach his ears. So you can play it like that. But at the end of the day, for me, it was just kind of like, I don't know about that one. You just all of a sudden knew to, um, kind of go as far as possible to drop the lightning down. And mind you, he's unconscious, so if he couldn't even hear his teammates, what changed for him to hear that he needed to use lightning? And it could be plot, but at the same time, I like to think that there's more logic than just saying the main character needed to do it, so he did it. Like, that's kind of lazy. But overall, I am seeing so much growth and potential for all these characters that you kind of forget they are bringing up three characters for us to really care about and actually look forward to seeing what they do. Um, Instead of just making Dai the one shot pony of a character, we're really seeing what Pope and Mama are going to go through just as well to really give them just as much significant growth as anybody. Her going and finding this shell and clearly hearing it out because she wouldn't have known what her, if it was her father that dropped that, shell off. It was kind of weird that, you know, this thing just happened to be laying around somewhere he could have easily found it all this time and just didn't happen to find it. So not to mention if anyone did find it and just break it, like this episode would have been ended in a whole different way. But actually, not really. I don't think him hearing his father's message slowed or deterred him from fighting any more dirty or hard as he did towards the end. So he still would have ended up losing the die. He just probably, I don't even know actually. The show is so weird that they could really say anything would have went, and I think it could work because that's just how it's shaping up to be in the case of just how the show is pushing forward the narrative, and I am enjoying it quite a bit. I'm just really looking forward to understanding how and what will be the way to take out someone who's even stronger than all these commanders we're seeing, and then the person who's commanding them, he's even stronger than him. So it's like there's a whole ridiculous slew of enemies for Dai to fight against. And I think that's one of my favorite parts of the show is the enemy variation that he has to deal with is getting like hardcore more and more with time passing. So if anything, we're probably going to see him fighting, um, fighting at a ridiculous pace and stuff where just like how this week's episode, his teammates weren't really capable of, helping him with much, right? Like that's just that's just the nature of the beast when it comes down to fighting these much stronger people in general, and having them more capable, if not as capable as the main character, especially when he's trained by the same person, but he learned a whole new technique outside of that to take out the same person that taught you everything you know. So now you have to fight against one of his students that has had more time to master combat and everything, and he's had more experience doing darker things that we didn't even really get to elaborate on. We know that he took out like a kingdom, but we don't know if he, just absolutely destroyed it, or if he, like he said, I can't kill women and this and that. Maybe he just took out the owner, like the leader of the place, all the strong guards, and just kind of left it as is. So I don't know. It was really interesting to see him turn a new leaf, and I really do want to hear what you guys are thinking about this show as a whole. I know you guys are definitely, some of you are enjoying it as much as me, if not more. So yeah, I can't wait to see the next episode. I heard it's going to come out like the 14th of January. So there's going to be quite a bit of time for me to maybe catch up on some other shows that I haven't even put on the channel, which is awesome. But at the same time, it just goes to tell you guys that I am aware there's going to be some breaks coming, but I'll try to make sure you get something every single day, at least one thing. So I will promise you that, and I will talk to you in the next one. So that being said, take care and peace.